Evening, everybody. I just want to thank Anne Marie here for hosting me again and for her help. Um, I just wanted to have this half an hour with Anne and explain about the walk that I intend to do from Bradford to number 10 in Downing Street, ending on the 23rd of June. Anne has agreed kindly to do a speech in Bradford to start the walk under Article 18 of the Human Rights Act, the freedom of choice and conscience, the freedom to express your religion or no religion freely. And it's under this Article 18 that I am fighting for the rights of people to leave Islam without the violent reprisals from the Islamic communities, because this is Britain, not Arabia or Iran. All too often, when people leave Islam, they're having to go into hiding, and the prime examples are that three of my friends were almost killed. Mr. Hussein, being in Bradford, almost killed, was forced out of his own home under 9 armed officers. This cannot go on. This is not acceptable, and the state needs to fill its obligation to protect our rights of freedom of conscience under the Article 18, the same freedoms that the Islamic community exercises under the Article 18. So how then can they then dare to attack those who want to practice Article 18 and leave Islam? This is the agenda. This is what I am fighting for. And I'm grateful that Anne has offered to help us. I asked her and she said, yes, she'll be happy to help us. And I am glad to have her on board. And
I'm very glad to be on board. Like you said, these are fundamental freedoms. And until people who are at the sharp end of the abuse of our freedoms, this loss of our freedoms, stand up and speak, especially on this particularly controversial issue. It's proof. I mean, when people are losing their rights like this in Britain, it's proof that it's Islam itself that is the issue here. We have this constant bowing down to Islam, constant pandering to Islam, and ex-Muslims are left just to fend for themselves. And I'm very proud to be part of this. I think it's a very brave thing to do. I just, if you follow me on Twitter, I just sent out a GoFundMe for this to raise some funds for this. How long is it going to take? I won't be doing the entire walk. It would be a bit of an adventure, but I wouldn't have the time to do it. But I'll be there at the start and I'll be there at the end. I think it's going to take you about 2 and a bit weeks.
17 days. 17 days, hopefully. The GoFundMe target is £25,000. And the reason is this, right? We need that amount for accommodation, for food, for security, and also for equipment. And there'll probably be 10 of us walking the route. I can't have more than 10 because then it's classed as a protest. However, if people want to meet us in every town that we enter, please do so. And I will inform people of what towns that we will be in and the date. This is a risk. This is why I have to have security. I can't say what kind of security as it is at the moment because it will be counterproductive. But I want accountability as well. So every penny that is spent, I want to be accountable to you, the people that are helping out. So I will have receipts, okay? Because there are people out there that hate Anne. And they hate me even more because we, who have turned away from Islam, weaken the argument of the press. We weaken the argument of the far left because the ones that have turned away from Islam are a powerful tool on voice. And there was an issue on when I watched one of your videos that there were people concerned that the political party that Anne started will be taken over by people who have left Islam. Now, here's the thing, right? People who leave Islam go quiet. They don't want to be heard or seen because of the consequences, the fear of violent reprisals. So people like me are very few who speak out, very few. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. So people who are express those concerns, right, we also have to be aware that there are people out there from the far left that see us as a threat. So they're going to stir up trouble and say, oh, by the way, Anne, they're going to take over your party. So we need to be aware of that. There are agents out there that are going to be obstructive and cause problems. But I tell you this, they're not going to win because I will not stop. In order for them to stop me, they're going to have to kill me. But they can't kill my words that are already out there that are spoken. They can't kill that. So yeah, and please help out and donate. We got until June to get the funds together. And also, as I was speaking to Anne earlier on, I got a pacemaker. So I need to start training, right? So I need to take time off work. I might have to hand in some notice in order to start training. So I can't start training until I am sure that I got the funds in. So hopefully we will have that in by April. So yes, people help us out. And we've also started a petition as well, so which Anne will link to you. And please, people, sign that petition. I'll be walking with a few others from Bradford to Manchester to meet the vets there to highlight the horrendous, hideous attack at a concert where children were killed and mutilated. Some of them are still in hospital with amputations and horrendous injuries. So we intend to highlight the attack there, and also the attack in Bradford, where extremists, right, tried to kill Nisa Hussain for leaving Islam. So yes, this is going to be exciting, and it's the only way to fight back is to bring this agenda to the forefront.
Do you have any idea of your route?
Yeah, I mean, I would be walking through 15 sort of towns.
And what are you going to do in each town? I mean, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult, and I think needs organising now, really.
I mean, when I was supposed to do this early on in the year, we already had the planned out sort of the route of 15 sort of towns, how many hours a day. So yeah, the danger that we will be in is not within the towns itself, but when we are walking. Well, I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to put any ideas into people.
Well, you might not have to give them ideas. I will talk a little bit. I mean, you're gonna get your petition ready. Yeah. You've got your GoFundMe ready. I've sent it out on Twitter. I'll talk a little bit more about it on one of my webcasts during the week. And if you get the petition together, but I really think planning and keeping your planning away from Antifa needs to be done pretty quickly. I would be very interested actually in what Antifa's reaction would be to ex-Muslims.
Well, I'll say...
What do you have a history with them?
Well, no, I don't actually. I mean, I'll tell you this to anyone from Antifa. If you care about people, if you care about the underdogs, then you should also care about people like us that have left Islam. It's our choice to leave Islam, and our choices need to be protected, as yours are. So if you are out there that want to cause trouble, then the blood is in your hands if anything happens to me.
Well, let's hope nothing does, but you're going to have private security, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll be a large part of the fundraising then as well. So we're talking about 17 days, somewhere to stay every night. You're going to need to, I think, do something in every town you go through, because the most important thing here is getting attention, getting lots and lots and lots of attention. So everyone out there watching, please do share this. I'm going to put this up onto YouTube this evening, and I'll talk about it next week. But we need to get moving. We need to get moving if we're going to do this. And when you get to Downing Street on the 23rd of June, what happens that day?
I'm going to knock on the door.
I don't think you're allowed to knock on the door.
On the 23rd, there's a group of I think it's from the Richard Ingham from the vets, who organising on the 23rd day that they're going to have a big, massive Brexit in March. So hopefully, if we can get 1 million people there, could you imagine the impact that would have? Fighting for our Brexit, fighting for the rights of people to leave Islam, fighting against the terror, fighting against the state allowing young single men into the country without any proper checks. Imagine 1 million people bringing London to a standstill. It's only when you bring a city to a standstill that these people listen to the cries of people. Marching alone isn't enough.
Well, if you can get 1 million people in London, you're going to have to tell me how you did it.
I always say expect the unexpected. I always say that.
I'm going to you can keep talking. I'm just going to put in, because someone up there has asked for the link to your GoFundMe page. I'm just going to stick it on there now. So what is your starting date?
Starting date, again, I will let people know closer to the date because of security, and also because I will be also speaking to the press, the ITV, Channel 4, the BBC. There'll be an embargo on information until it gets closer to the date.
Okay, that's probably a good idea, actually. Okay. Belief, that's what I'm looking for, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, have you got the link for the
I've just sent it out there.
Petition.
Well, you haven't finished that.
Yeah.
You have finished
it.
Okay, if you give me the link, I don't have it on me now.
Okay.
But anything else to add?
That's it. I don't wanna prolong it because people's attention span after half an hour just goes, so we don't want to keep it too. So if you've got any questions, ask Anne, or you can ask me, whatever.
And for follow-up on this, how will people get more information? The usual channels. Have you got a Twitter, Facebook, anything?
I've got Twitter and I also got Facebook. Yeah, so I will be along the route. I will be doing a live feed, and also I'm hoping to get in touch with Tommy and ask him if he wants to be a part of that.
Ask him now. We'll tweet him this video.
Yeah, Tommy Robinson and Kevin, you are Tommy. All right, I'm not trying to. How can I put this? That's not crude or rude, or I'm not trying to lick your bum, right? Okay, but you are an amazing guy, very smart, articulate, and you've done a lot. Okay, and it'll be good for you to come along because we need to destroy once and for all this far left allegations and accusations, racism. You're a racist every time you speak about Islam, when we jolly well know Islam is not a race. Let's work together once and for all and make a big impact on this.
And it really matters for the future as well. If you're thinking a few generations down the line, I believe, and I'm sure you do as well, that many Muslims in this country would break free if they could. And if there were examples of people, if they could see people marching through the streets for the right to leave Islam, it would encourage people.
Absolutely.
People need to see that other people are doing it and they're okay. And I think for the future, even if we stopped all immigration now we'd still have an issue with Sharia and other issues in the future. But if we encourage, or at least make it free and safe for people to leave Islam, a lot of people will, and that bodes better for the future.
Absolutely. You know, the case 50 years ago or so, when homosexuality was illegal and a taboo in the community, people were too afraid to say, I'm gay. But it took activists of hard work, pushing it and pushing it and pushing it until it became a norm. Now people accept it, it's happening, it's there, and they don't have the right to attack anyone that's gay. And it's the same with Islam. We need to create that normality, right? It's happening, it's happening. You have no right to attack anybody that leaves Islam. It's creating that normality for Islam to collapse. And that's what it needs.
Oh, absolutely. And look, it only took, it's in a couple of decades, I mean, the gay thing changed completely. Let's hope we can do it again. You know, injustice has a terrible way. You know, it's a terrible way of showing itself, and when people do see it, they react. And the problem, of course, is that they're not seeing it because we're not giving ex-Muslims the airtime they need to tell the world what's happening to them. I do really hope you succeed with this. I really do. It's a fantastic idea. It's going to be difficult to pull off. And I think a lot of hard work will be needed sort of now. And I'm definitely here to help, and I'll do whatever I can. But I would definitely appeal to people to help with this. I think it would be fantastic. The press would pretty much be forced to cover it. Who's going to be what? You said you have about 10 people working with you. Are there other ex-Muslims or?
Well, I've got 2 Asian friends who are Christians who were born in Karachi. You know, half of their home is Christian and the other half is Islamic. They were born into the half that were Christian, so they stuck to the Christian aspects. So the others, people like Jonah, is it Jonah? Olivia? Janea, right?
Okay,
She's also offered to walk, so there'll be her. Okay. There'll be her and 2 of her friends, and also 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 from the vets, and the others will be security.
Okay. Well, good luck. I hope you've got a good pair of trainers.
Walking shoes.
I'll have to get myself
walking shoes. Walking shoes.
I'm not even doing
yeah, that's the thing of the equipment as well. We have to buy, in case it rains, we need to buy extra pair of shoes and waterproof clothing, things like that. And I also want to be able to hire a chase, a vehicle. I won't say what kind it is, again, for security reasons.
Okay. Okay, so if you keep me up to date, I'll keep people up to date on Twitter and Facebook and webcasts. But we'll move nice and quickly now.
Definitely.
And try and get this done, because I do think it would be amazing.
It would be amazing. It'd be awesome. And this will be an ideal opportunity. You know, people say, "Oh, Islam is peace." Islam. I always say, "Prove it." You know, if you're going to kill me, so do it. But it's not going to kill my words. My words that have already been spoken will be echoed, even more so.
Well, I still hope it doesn't happen. Let's make sure we stay safe. Make sure you stay safe. That's the last thing. The last thing we need is people like you getting hurt. We want the exact opposite. We can't let them have these violent victories. We just can't. Okay, is there anything else you wanted to
No,
add?
again, I want to say thank you to your audience. And I think we need to sit together. And we also have to, again, I want to reiterate very strongly and clearly, there are people out there, probably from the far or left, who will say, "Oh, Mo is a con man, he's this, he's that." Be careful, okay? Because the far left see us as a threat, because they don't want us to be sat with Anne, because it destroys their argument. Okay, so be careful of that.
Okay, I'm just going to put your Twitter that's it out. Have you got, you have a Facebook page? Do
Yeah.
you? Okay, should we put that out as well? So
Mhm.
people who are watching now. Okay. Facebook.
Yeah, you can put it on the. I've got two because.
Okay, well, we can add it on. We can add it on in a bit. I'll put it in the links with the YouTube.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So we'll finish this off. We'll stick it up on YouTube, and please, everyone, spread it as far and wide as you can, and we'll keep updating. But we'll crack on.
One more thing I forgot. Right, any cash that is spare cash, right? What I want to do with that cash is to buy a PA sort of speakers, because when we had a march in Newcastle recently, with the vets, the speakers weren't all that great, and the same was in Scotland as well. So whatever cash that is spare from that, I want to buy a nice PA speakers, so other groups, not just us, not just the vets, can use them as well. That's it. That's a wrap.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Take care.
We will make America great again.